Ben from KCT here, back with another video for you guys. And today we're checking out the new 3.9mm inspection camera from Endo Snake. So, pretty cool little unit and your firearms. And it was specifically designed for all you people that own 5.56, 223 firearms because, well, yeah, there's reasons. So most inspection cameras that you can find typically don't go down for something that small. They're a little bit, larger in diameter. So they're probably good for doing like handguns, 9mm, stuff like that, but not so good with a small caliber rifle. So Endo Snake decided to go ahead and change that and kind of make a user usable bore scope that wasn't really too hard on the budget, that anybody can really operate and use, and fit into your AR or Mini 14 or AR, whatever. So guys, we'll go ahead and take a look at that, and yeah, let's see what you guys think. Check it out. Oh, first, before we get started, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. Check it out. We do have a lot of stuff, 20% off Adaball products. There'll be a code for that, 10% off Mission First Tactical, free stuff with V7 weapon systems every time you order. So definitely take a look at the links, or maybe the description's floating around here. So check it out, become a fan. Love us. But real quick, I want to disclose my relationship with Endo Snake because it's only proper that I do. So they contacted me for a review for this channel and asked if I would be willing to take a look at one of their scopes. They did send out the scope and kit for free. So the kit itself, let's go ahead and take a look at my carefully prepared notes. It's normally $69.99 for the 3-foot model. On sale right now on their website, $55.99, so that's kind of nice. And then there's a Wi-Fi box that you need for $25 so that you can use with your specific models of phone. Not every phone needs it, but definitely take a look at it because it's going to be an unhappy day if you get home and you don't have the right stuff. So, but other than that, no money has changed hands. I've not been paid for this. They gave it to me for an honest review and testing and evaluation, so I'm free to say whatever I want, which obviously I am anyways. But just want to let you guys know that that was something that they did provide for me, that I did not go out and pay my own money for it. So, which it makes it easier to trash if I don't like it because I'm not out any money. So, but guys, want to let you guys know because there's a lot of stuff going on right now where people are getting paid for play, reviews, stuff like that. It's crazy. So, all right, enough of this madness. We'll go ahead and take a look at it on the bench. Okay, here we are on the bench, guys. So let's take a look and see what's in the box, man. So first of all, I do definitely want to say something about Endo Snake as a company. They have been extremely patient with me as I try to get everything going and deal with a bunch of different things in my life. If you hear any baby noises in the background, that's my son, my wife's watching him. We are not at Biden's birthday party at this time. So they've been really cool about letting me do my own thing on my own time and get this review done. So a lot of people, when they give us stuff, they'll hound us, and, when is it done? It's done when it's done. I'm not going to rush it, but they've been really patient because it's taken a while between when they've given us this stuff and we're actually able to do the review. So anyways, on to the review here. So they come in a nice little case here. So this one is just for the Wi-Fi, with the Wi-Fi box there. And you get a little nice mesh pocket. You can throw all your stuff in there. There's your instructions. Cases are decently durable. It feels like a camera case in terms of something that you would find for like extra lenses and stuff like that on the actual camera. Same thing with this right here. This is just the same one that would have the bore snake in it, bore scope in it itself. So I like to keep these because number one, they tell me, hey, this is the camera. That's the Wi-Fi box. And they also keep things moderately safe because I drop things and crush things all the time because I'm incredibly clumsy. So having something that kind of keeps an investment, a good investment, is always a good thing in my book. So let's take a look here at what we have. So what we need to do is, in this case, we have the Wi-Fi box. Now, the Wi-Fi box is very simple. And again, for certain iPhones and for mine, which is an Android device, you will need a Wi-Fi box for using this. Again, there are some phones that you don't have to, but they're all listed on their website. You will be able to see all the specific operating systems and what they require. And if you have any questions, they're awesome. They can definitely help you out. Shoot them an email, give them a call. So Wi-Fi box is really nice. It's in a nice, almost have like a rubberized coating on the outside, and feels pretty sturdy. Obviously nothing that you'd want to like drop repeatedly, but most electronics aren't. So there's little vents in the back there, and yeah, it just tells you exactly what it does on the tin. So what we have here is just real simple controls. The plug-in for the camera is going to be the middle one, and the charging is going to be here, and the power button obviously here. So when you charge it, it'll light up red. So this whole front end will be red, telling you that you're charging. When it's done, red light goes off, lets you know you're all set. So, and then when you are using this, you'll see different lights on there that will tell you, like, it goes green and then it'll go blue, showing that it's broadcasting, because you will need to go ahead and set up your phone to pick this thing up. I've seen people say, "Oh, I don't understand, it didn't work," and they never turned on like their phone's Wi-Fi or whatever, so they didn't receive anything. Well, it's a Wi-Fi box, so just follow the instructions. It's not hard. So, a little cold here going on. Not the coof though, thank God. So we have the Wi-Fi box, but let's take a look at the camera. So the business end of the camera, this little guy right here. And if you want to go play like Rainbow Six or something, this does actually slide under doors, and you can actually pan it around and see where the guards are and shoot them. So that's always nice. So the head there has not only the camera, but a series of LED lights that will light the way in dark bores and give you the ability to see things sight beyond sight, if you will, inside the firearm, or sync or whatever you're doing, because they definitely tout this as a firearms product, but they also do say that hey, you can use it if your sync backs up, if you're obviously this is the water resistant, it's lightly waterproof, I believe, but I would not stick it in a blocked drain. But if you're having some issues or something, or you're looking for something, sticking this underneath the couch to find your wedding ring might be a good idea. Why it's under there in the first place, no one will ever know. So we'll get into like what this little notch is here in just a minute. That's kind of important, but we'll check that out in a minute. So what do we do, and how do we make this thing go? Well, they supply you with some handy dandy plugs on the other end of the camera. Now, when I first got this, because of my limited intelligence and lack of reasoning capabilities, I honestly was about to contact them and say, look, you have given me the wrong thing here. I don't know, what's going on, why this doesn't work, this doesn't fit here. What's the haps on MTV Raps? And I was literally like writing up in an email, just explaining, hey man, I'm not very smart, but what happened here? And all of a sudden I thought to myself, maybe you should look at what you're actually doing. And so I looked at this larger USB looking port there, and I realized that just through the power of science and technology, it flips up, and now you have the proper sized USB. I believe, yes, you'll plug it in there, and that will give you, I think it's like to the iPhone or whatever. So you don't just plug this right in, you plug this into this miniature part. So when you're done, go ahead and just close it up, and it locks into place. It won't open without you doing something like that, and is good to go. So yeah, so I mean, it got to be smarter than the equipment, right, guys? So I can't believe it if I almost emailed those guys. Like, why do we give him one of these things? This guy's a moron. So let's take a look at what this does and how it works. So we'll go ahead and pop that open again. So let's see, tone there. So the only thing that I think is weird is if we look at the orientation of the ports on here, and then we look at this, the way that this top part flips up, you would think that it would go like this, and then that would keep that away from the ground or whatever. And actually, look at this, which is that big of a deal? No, but I think most people are gonna put it down like, oh, Wi-Fi box. There, you don't want to snap this little part off. Is all I'm saying. So, game breaker? Heck no. Is it something that you want to kind of think about? Yes, because anytime you plug something in, you can see obviously it works for both of them there, but that's the charging. But anytime you plug something in, you need to be mindful of that connection so that you don't snap it or worse, because that's not going to be good. But it does feel pretty sturdy. I've not had any problems with it. I mean, if I drop this off the table, I feel like it would probably survive, a few drops. But again, with anything electronic, you want to be very careful. This is not like a ruggedized kit that you're spending a ton of money on that's like shock proof and blast proof and pet proof, whatever. It's electronics, so treat it as such. Obviously, if you guys have a nice workbench, whatever, you guys understand how that goes, treating your tools correctly. So we'll just go ahead and set that down there, and we'll go ahead and turn this on as well. So we'll just press and hold that green light on there. Okay. Boop. Now turn blue, and blue indicates that it is transmitting. So if I was to open up my app on the phone, which I can't do because we are recording, high production, we would see that this was actually recording, or not recording, but filming, and then you could go ahead and record everything. Now, how does that work? You actually download a couple apps onto your phone or tablet, and they will allow you to, both view and record the inspections that you do, and the apps are very, very easy to use. The one I use specifically is MoView, and it's like there's like 3 buttons on the entire thing. So for a Neanderthal like myself, it actually works out really, really well. I'm not constantly like trying to eat the snake going, ooh, rock tastes funny. So it is nice and easy to use. I will say that by the time I was done with like my second or third inspection, I was laughing. I'm not very technologically minded. So the fact that I was able to do multiple inspections on different firearms and parts in very, very short order, I was just blown away by. So I'm still laughing like, how easy is this? God, I could just run through a ton of these and see rifles I've had for 10 years and see how they look. So I will say that it is super easy for the layman to use if you are concerned about maybe not being the most techie type person. This thing has you covered, because again, it's like you plug it in and you see it's going right there. The controls, take a look at this. Simplicity itself. There you go. Turn your light up, turn your light down, turn it off. And then so that's the illumination that you'll have inside the board there, the firearm. And I mean, as you can see, it's plenty bright. And with my a nice fuzzy camera, looks like we're watching Skyline or something right now. It's awesome. So that's awesome, and I think that's a really, really good feature that you had that built in there. I've seen some cameras that are like, oh, just light it from the other end. No, thank you. So that's that. I mean, there's this button here. I've never actually figured out what it does, to be honest. But I imagine it's either used with different models or maybe without the Wi-Fi box. I don't know. So this thing is very, very versatile. It's very durable. It's about 3 feet long for the whole thing. Now again, you can only kind of go there to here, because obviously the inspection tool and the lighting system is not going to go all the way in there, neither with the Wi-Fi box, unless you have like a howitzer or something. So, but yeah, I mean, it's super, super easy. Just go ahead and find whatever firearm you want to stick that to, and just toss it in there and start filming. And yeah, I mean, you'll be able to check out your gas port. You can do all sorts of things. Now, one thing I'll say is that when you go into a bore, it all kind of looks the same. Like it's very gray, kind of like spun out. They even show that on their website. So it's kind of hard to see a lot of this stuff in terms of what's in there, unless it's something that's prominent, like your gas port, or there's like some nicking or fouling inside the barrel. I found a lot of copper fouling in my Delton barrels and steel and things like that, because in 7 years of owning them, I've just run nothing but steel case and like random just crap ammo. So and they really don't clean it. So there's a lot of stuff in there that's steel, copper, crap, whatever. They still shoot great. Yeah, so definitely no problem there. If you're not super techy but you like firearms and you like to know what's going on with your firearm, I say that this is a great investment. So let's go ahead and take a look here. I'm gonna go ahead and trim a little light off here. Now they give you this little baggie here, and my little rave bag, because it's got like I see kids putting some fun stuff in there. Take to parties. And if you notice that I cannot open anything because I have the dexterity of a rock. So I should probably just like cut this thing open. But anyways, so as we do this, what they do is they have a series of attachments, and they will go ahead and clip onto the end. There we go. Wow. Smarter in the bag. They will clip onto the end of the scope itself, and they will provide you with different functionalities. So for example, this, smarter than the deck. There. That's a hook. And other than filming like a really small scale version of Moana, this actually lets you like pull things out from, places that you found them. So if you drop your ring down a vent or something like that, you can actually take this, and if you're very dexterous and very careful, work that down there and be able to pull things out, right? So is it 100%? Is this going to go in an AR board? No, it's not. It's bigger than that, and people go, "Oh my God! Why didn't they make these smaller? Oh, think of the children." To get this small enough to fit inside of an AR board with the modularity that they have for these clips, you are going to look at something that's probably prohibitively expensive for the people that it's designed for. So it kind of goes back to this whole thing. I was in high school, and one of my instructors, whatever, was saying, hey, back in the day, this post World War II, whatever, American scientists sent the smallest drill bit they had to Japan to show them how good we were and how advanced our industry was and how we could produce these great tiny little drill bits with such precision. And the Japanese sent that bit back to us with a hole drilled in it with their bit. So it's one of those things where you can do it. We're at the level right now where tech and manufacturing, you can pretty much do anything that you want. However, how is the cost? What is the cost going to be? What does it take to come up with something that's like this, that offers the same modularity but is small enough to fit inside of an AR barrel? And then is it even worth it at that point? So understand that these are probably not going to go in most of your firearms unless you're looking at something that's maybe a little bit bigger. Just and kind of set that expectation up ahead. So there's also this one that is a little like inspection mirror. Now I've not gotten a whole lot out of this yet, but I've tried it a couple times. But obviously going into a gun bore, we're not really need anything, and this is more for like looking around inside the interior of the firearm. But at the same time, the whole thing is small enough and dexterous enough that you can get in there and look at stuff with just the head of the camera for most of it. And this is a magnet, I believe, if I remember right. It should be a magnet, yeah. So that will allow you to go ahead and pick up small metal things. Yep, there it is. How even do they work? So how we do it is we take this little notch here, we take our little tool, and then slide that right over there into the notch, and then pinch it closed. Again, my dexterity coming to the fore. Wow. Well, we'll try it with this one because I know that one works. Anyways, you guys get the idea regardless of my inability to. There we go. Oh, come on. Yep. There we go. Okay, so, and then you have that's attached. Once you pop that off, they do give you a couple spare clips because those will be the most common breaking point. And then you can mount the tool right in there. So if you do break something or they do come out with new tools that you want to use, these mounting clips should allow you to go ahead and use that. And again, they would just slip right over and slide onto that sweet slot. So yeah, dexterity, guys. It's not a dumb stat. Anyways, so what else do we have going on here? That's pretty much it. The camera is nice and ruggedized and durable in terms of its performance and sticking it in something. And the actual camera head is recessed here. So you can see just a little bit, it's set back. So what do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Would I recommend it, even if paying money for it? So let's start with what I don't like. There's not a whole lot. Again, there's the tiny nitpick of like how the box is oriented, but it's probably my OCD, all that stuff. If you are looking for the length of camera that you have or wire, it is a little bit deceptive because you don't have the box has obviously the light controls an eighth of the way up or whatever. So, you know, if you get a 3 foot snake, you're not looking at probably the full three, unless maybe they measured it beyond this. I'm not good at measuring anything. Ask my wife. So I'm not sure if that's the case. But either way, it's been in like 20-inch rifles. It's been down the front of a FAL with a long, you know, flash hider on it. So it has been in, you know, longer guns with no issues. So I'm not super concerned about it. If you have some, you know, reason to buy a bigger kit, it is a little bit more, but you can go ahead and pick one of those up. For me, I think this is absolutely fine. I don't have any reservations about using it. I think it's going to work in 99% of the guns that I own. You know, if you're that one guy who's got the 8 million inch barrel that, you know, you hand load this and whatever in flintlock, great, buy a longer one. Okay, so just do that. Other than that, you know, there's really no issues with the system as a whole itself. Again, I think the box is decently protected against, you know, scrapes and bumps and bangs. I would, of course, always keep it in a case if I was not using it. And when it was out, I would definitely display some good caution around it, as you should do with any electronics. This isn't saying that this is super fragile. I wouldn't throw my phone on the floor either, willingly. So the other thing here is this head here. Oh, okay. Actually, good series. It actually gets really warm, like right at the very, very tip where the camera is. And I'm just assuming that's just the current as it's running through there. But the first time I touched it, I was like, God, whoa, this thing's hot. Not like hot enough to burn or anything like that. Like clearly I'm just holding it. But it is kind of surprising that, you know, it's a little bit warm. Again, I'm assuming that that's the fact that once it's on, it's actually got obviously some juice running through it. And that's just, they couldn't make this small enough and compact enough while keeping the price down enough to have it like, you know, heat sinks or, you know, in such a way that you never feel like it warm. I don't know. It's not a big deal. Just understand that sometimes you might touch this and it gets warm. So other than that, those are really the only gripes that I have with it. I mean, I think the cable is decently sturdy. I have no reservations about that. The sheathing is really, really good. I used to do like industrial installation. And this is something that I would use definitely on a heartbeat in terms of the, you know, rigidity and also flexibility of the cable, because you can straighten it out and actually push this thing around corners and stuff. It's kind of nice. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's very, very well designed package. It's very, it's efficient. It doesn't have a whole lot of extra crap that you don't need. And, you know, runs on software that you just download on your computer, your tablet, your phone or whatever. And yeah, you're off to the races. So literally, guys, like I said, I'm not very tech savvy, but, you know, being able to just download a program and run, awesome. So what I like about this thing, well, most of the things on this thing actually, obviously you guys know that the lights just get super bright. I mean, look at that. At least that works. Skyline. So, but that's great as far as looking in there. Now, sometimes I'll put a light in the other end of the tunnel to just see if there's a freight train coming my way. You know, being able to backlight it, then I'll kind of shut the light down a little bit on this, depending on where I'm looking at in the gun. So there's something like that, or just put a mirror, you know, on the other side of the bore, whatever, and get some of that light reflected back down the bore and get some more usable lumens. Yeah, so that's great. I mean, I think that, you know, again, the controls are simple. It's up and down. Like I said, it feels really, really sturdy. And I like it. I like having it to diagnose problems. You know, I like being able to look down at the barrel of like a World War II era gun and go, oh crap, you know, this is, you know, see what kind of history we got down there. It makes it a lot easier for diagnosing problems with guns. You know, if you're looking at, you know, an AR and, you know, it's having some issues, short stroking, you can get to a lot different places with this than you normally could. So, yeah, I really, really think it's a good tool. And again, with it being versatile enough to fit down, you know, a 22 caliber bore, you are pretty much covering 98% of the firearms out there. There's some dude with like 17 HMR and he's like screaming in the background. But for the rest of us, you know, that you know, use normal guns, this is going to do everything. You know, like I said, they're stuck it down a FAL, a ton of ARs, pistols, bolt carriers, looking at different stuff. Looked into the back of a gas tube, scared my cat a couple times. You know, just there's a lot of things that you can do with it that make it worthwhile right off the bat. And like literally, and they say this on their website, but I will tell you this, I agree. It pays for itself the first time you use it. The minute you know, you're like, oh God, I wonder if my barrel's dirty and I haven't cleaned it in a year and a half. Okay, cool. You know now. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my gun is short stroking. I wonder if this, and this loose. Okay, now we know. I want this. I have a magazine that's all crapped out. I wonder what's wrong with the spring of the flower. Just stick it in there. Sure. There's so many different things that you can do and take a look at with this where you it just lets you put eyes in all the right places. So who would I say that this is for? Well, number one, and this is the most obvious, is people like me, people that review guns and gear, and do it like that on whatever content platform you have. Being able to look at something and being able to get deeper inside whatever the item is without going out and buying something super expensive or a super high end home rig that you have to attach to something and it's got to sit and be plugged in. Like, yeah, if you were doing reviews of gear and guns and things like that, or Mr. Guns and Gear, whoever else, I would recommend this because if you're talking to people about whether the barrel is crap, stick a show them, stick a scope down there. I mean, this whole thing is less than $80, really. Even with the Wi-Fi box. So I would, yeah. I mean, if you review stuff, if you do like automotive, things like that, anything that you would look at where you wish you could get your eyeballs into a different spot. If you review it, I think you should really have one of these, and that's just not me saying it. It's just one of those things where I look at it now with all these guns laying around that I'm reviewing and stuff, and it's like, oh shoot, man, why didn't I have this years ago? Boy, I could have been like 10 times more credible. I can show people what's actually going on inside the gun. Is it cruddy? Is it nasty? Is it dirty? So that's a big one. Number two, I would say if you own a gun shop or you are, if you work on firearms, having this is you probably already know, and you may even own something like this. But at this price point, again, this is sturdy. I mean, this is not, easily. I don't think it's gonna be easily broken. And if you have a business like that, you should probably have something like this so you can take a deeper look without, taking everything apart or just embarrassingly sticking your eye over the muzzle to see what's down the barrel. The other thing too is, beyond the gun shop owners, beyond, people who work on guns, if you're an instructor, I think this would be great too. So if you have, if you teach classes or whatever, there's always a student or 10 that comes with some dicked up Franken gun that just they don't know what they did, or their buddy who does tattoos made one or whatever, and it sucks. And half the class it's short stroking or coughing and wheezing and all sorts of nonsense, and you spend like a third of your day just like trying to troubleshoot this one gun, because you didn't bring any extras because this is the first one, whatever, and you're sitting there going, oh my god, like maybe there's something stuck in wherever. Cool, you have a popped primer underneath your trigger. Cool, find it right here. It makes diagnosing problems so much easier and more intuitive, and and faster. So if you have that, those people that come with those guns that just cannot make it through a class, and they're constantly walking over to you with that sheepish look on their face with, the drill is to fire 10 rounds. They got through 3, and they're the check engine light came on in their gun. Yeah, I would say that would be a really, really good thing to have. And, and it'll help instructors make a point about good guns, good maintenance, for people. So definitely, I think that, not just, for reviewers and gun dealers and instructors, but the average shooter, like, you should have a series of tools to work on your guns. Owning a gun is not just a gun. It is owning a gun and then the systems around it. So whether you have a bore snake, you use cleaning rods, your hops number 9, your super fizzy gelatin foam, whatever else you use, frog lube, Marlube, slipstream, whatever else, Vaseline, WD-40. Okay, so you have all this stuff, right? And you have brushes and rags and cleaning things. You should have something to diagnose, hey, is this gun even safe to shoot? Sorry. So if you're sitting there and you're like, man, last time I went out, I don't know, maybe I had a squib or something. Oh, well, maybe you should look at it before you put another, 55,000 PSI round in there. So yeah, I think that if you're a gun owner and you shoot even more than casually, this would be a really, really good option for you because it will allow you to see things before they become problems. Or when they become problems, you can see what kind of a problem they are. And it's usually not a problem where you say, I'll shoot it and then see what the problem was. So again, if you're a shooter at all, again, I know it sounds like I'm shilling for these guys, but definitely not. Everybody that I've shown this kit to has looked at it and gone, okay, I don't have a channel, whatever. I'm just a regular guy, but oh, okay, like where can I borrow that this weekend? Where did you get that? And you just start scoping your guns as you go, you go through, and you're just like, wow, I had no idea that, I needed to clean my Glock this bad. And you just start picking up random, things that you have and looking and learning more about them. And I think that that's a great, great thing as shooters, and especially with so many new shooters coming into the fold here, obviously with what we have with all the clown shooters going on in 2021. So guys, that is pretty much it for the breakdown. I know that this ran a little bit longer, but it was a piece that I think deserved a little bit more of an in-depth checkout. So we'll just go ahead and shut this thing down. Go ahead and back that out. Close that back up to protect it. Hold down that power button. Good to go. And we can put it back in our cases. Guys, the next thing I will put in here is going to be some footage of the scoping that I do with a couple different firearms, as well as different parts. So we can actually look through like the bolt carrier group, like where it gets all crappy by the bolt tail and all that good stuff. And just kind of see like, hey, if you have good maintenance, are you actually getting what you think you're getting? So guys, definitely like, share, comment, and subscribe. It always helps, and we really appreciate it, especially in the climate that we are in right now. Obviously we know that no one meant is absolute. So Jesus. So guys, definitely do all those things. Share it with your friends, tell your people about it. If you hate it, hate it. If you love it, love it. If you love it, hit the like button. If you hate it, smash the like button 3 times, I guess. I don't know. Guys, I'm rambling. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks so much for checking this out. Stay tuned for all the scoping. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. See you.